Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm your Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. You know where we can find that?
Yes.
On Wrestling Ham.
That's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm your Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. You know where we can find that?
Yes.
On Wrestling Ham.
That's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm your Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. You know where we can find that?
Yes.
On Wrestling Ham.
That's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm your Riz.
And, you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg here in the Sorgatron Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I've been in Pittsburgh for maybe 3 hours at this point. Anyways, no, good to be here with the crew on the internets, and I got to figure out how this. Wait, where's the view button on here? it's everything's fine, everything's great. Oh, that's not good either. Hold on, well, first of all, you can see everybody right now, but Katie Judas is with us, the social media maven, with us from the Duds Cave. How you doing, Katie?
Oh, fantastic.
Don't mind me clicking over your face here. Everything's fine.
Oh yeah,
Everything's
nothing's there.
fine here. Why?
And
is
I'll
it-
just lean like this so I can be like
why is
cat.
it showing everything? What's happening on the feed right now? I don't know what's. I'm in speaker.
We can't be on
mode.
camera the whole time.
Oh, full screen. Let's try full screen. Okay, that's better. There you go, Katie. How you doing?
Oh, good, great.
Can you
Great, wonderful.
Can you tell I just hooked everything up like 10 minutes ago? Dave Podnar is here as well from the iPhoneography podcast.
Yep, me here, and I agree with Dutters. Huh?
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at right now. But it is the AwesomeCast. We're going to talk geeky things, have some fun things from the week, some positive things in the tech news from the week. It seems like I'm getting less and less of that in my tech podcast from day to day here. So I hope we are your helpful refuge here. I've braved cross country flights from LAX. The inability to read my own boarding pass and hot coffee spit on my lap shortly before I landed. So it's been a heck of a week, or a heck of a day that's felt like a week, I suppose. But anyways, let's get into our. Oh no, the soundboard just rebooted. So we're gonna just pretend you have some cool music here from our friend Kid Bentel, and let's get into our awesome thing of the week. Let's start with Katie. Let's start with you.
Welcome to Mehcast.
Welcome to Metcast.
Mehcast. All right. So I got a new to me car,
Okay.
and I have two incredible features of my new to me car. Also, I put this in the thing as this is a Gen X and Millennial time capsule.
Mhm.
And the things that my car has is a sunroof
Mhm.
and a CD player. And that's all I need in life and then the only other thing I need is mixed CDs. So I found a literal handfuls of mixed CDs.
Oh no.
From
I recognize those CDRs at the same time.
Oh yeah, Dynex. There we go. Best Buy.
Yeah.
We got
yeah.
Fujifilm. This one I don't know. The digital Durabrand, Precision, Maxell. But I just want to talk about how these were a thing that essentially those of us back in the day. I don't know if you can see that, but it says July 1st, 2010.
Mhm. That's not too long ago, actually.
2010.
Yes,
That's
yes.
15 years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I feel like we weren't like. I thought were we doing CDs in 2010? What like I felt like we were post CD at that point, right?
We were doing
No,
CDs.
this is literally the only one I could find with an address, which was the funny part. But no, there are some that the movie was a Doom 3. The soundtrack from Doom 3. So I'm assuming that had just come out, and that was early 2000.
Okay.
But yeah, this has just been an adventure of just certain time periods throughout my life during this particular, I guess, digital age of CDRs and CDRW. I don't have any RWs. There's just CLCDRs. But how incredible the one that these still play. Some of them are flat out like you can tell the age because some of them are songs, like just regular MP3s, and then some of them are just like regular audio files, and then some are MP3s. So I have like CDs with 12 songs because that's all that fits, or I have 100 and some songs.
Oh, you had a sweet CD player that would actually read the MP3 files. That is impressive. I don't think I had one of those. That is the dream. That is the dream.
The dream. And it's so funny because I know some of us used different means to download our music, and Napster. LimeWire was my go-to. And it's so funny to listen to these songs, and like I will know in this like a song where there's an imperfection, because back in the day, if you're not familiar with downloading music, of course, totally legally, there you would get a file. It would say it was a certain file. You would download it, pray to the CD gods that it was actually the song you were hoping it was.
And sometimes it's Madonna telling you to F off for downloading the song.
Yes. Or you'd get the songs that would be that would have somebody like, you'd be like, great, the song's correct, and then you would have somebody saying some sort of, I forget which one it was, but it was like one of the rap songs where they would just shout out somebody in the group like every so often.
Yep.
And you're like, you're on to me.
Yeah.
And so this has been quite like, but you know at some point, like I'm like, oh, this is the point in this particular song where this is going to make this weird noise, or but it's been an exciting walk down memory lane of different points in my life. And like my brother made me a CD. It says Pat's Super Duper CD. It includes the Simpsons, Homer Simpson singing the beer song. I don't know if you were really into the Simpsons.
Is it from the Simpsons Sings? There's a Simpsons Sings and there was a Simpsons Sing the Blues, if I recall.
Oh my gosh, no! This is from when he sang about beer, and when he was giving up beer. And now I'm like, I have to Google this, but like that's there's the kind of random stuff about that. And I'm like, oh my
like
gosh, what year? Yes, we had a very good.
I'm not going to show much of that one.
Yes. And what year did this come out? And so this episode came out season 4.
Jeez, aren't they in the 30s now?
Yes. So season 4 of The Simpsons. Where are we even at? I wish this thing had an article, but it was definitely season 4.
Oh, it's a flashback to young Homer. Okay.
Season 4 Simpsons. Year.
I love that you have a Simpsons thing, because I don't know if you saw how I tagged the corner of the show this week.
Oh no.
Homer gives the best hugs.
That's fantastic. Oh, season 4 was from 92 to 93. Okay, so it was probably after, like, somewhere in this point, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, so definitely it was after that, because of, obviously, Lawn Mowers was. But anyways, so, like, they're all just time capsules of who was in your life, how you were feeling at that time, all that, just amazing things. And it, to me, I as I was driving around, I drove back and forth to State College listening to all of these CDs. And I still have more to go, but it was a fantastic, it was a time capsule. It was literally just, these are our flippin' time capsules. And like time capsules do not have to be like physical accumulation of things. At this particular time period, these were our time capsules, and someone really liked you got a mix CD from them.
I've never we didn't do. There was not a lot of like making the CDs for each other in my group of friends, I suppose. So
I think it was more, you didn't really make CD, you did make CDs for your friends, like if you wanted to remember something. This is early 2000s, and or if somebody had feelings for you, they might make you a mix CD. I mean, it didn't happen very often, but
that's what I was doing wrong in high school. Okay. So should have just been dropping CDs and until one hits, right? So,
Yep. Yep.
awesome. So, do you not have like? I know you're big on the Sirius satellite and stuff. Do you still have that in the car?
Yeah, but that's not the same. It's not the same as let's see what random song pops up
Okay,
next.
okay.
And go, oh, I forgot this was a banger.
A banger. There you go. Oh my gosh. So that was your awesome / old tech of the week.
Yes,
I love it.
Yeah, I didn't know where it fits, so you got to hear it, and we'll talk about it.
I'm so afraid to use my CD player because it's like I think it's a 6-disc and I've barely used it. And I'm afraid to, because it's like I'm afraid a disc is going to go in there, and I would never see it again. I will have to tear out the dash in order to get it back.
But okay, so it's in the dash.
Oh yeah.
It's not one of the
Big
six changes that.
Oh
were in
no,
the trunk.
the tray, the carousel.
Yeah.
Like, I always
Yes.
loved that one.
Now, kids, if you're too young to remember, if you really like music, you could get a car that could hold 6 CDs, and the fancy smancy ones had the changer in the trunk. So you would have to load up your CDs before you started to drive, and you could change disc by using the radio.
Hold on.
Actually, I'm shocked that
or this is the one that you would have in the rack. Look at that.
Yeah,
With the
that's it.
carousel. That's actually, I think that's the exact model that we had in my house. That looks about right. So, and it was just like a carousel of CDs, a 5-disc CD changer. Man, I love that thing. That was great. So,
I'm actually surprised, even Katie, a car new to you, you could still find one with a CD player in it.
2020.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
Because my new, I'm trying to think, my last 2 cars. So the one I bought I'm trying to remember when I bought that. Forget, it was 2018. It didn't have a CD player in it. And it was like a Honda Insight. So it wasn't like,
Probably depends on the manufacturer or something like that, right? So, that's awesome. All right, getting those mixtapes. I'm trying to think if like any rental cars would have them. No, because they're all just like the
new.
in-dash like Apple car. They gave me, this car had like 40 miles on it when I pulled it out of the lot. I put a lot on it. Driving around LA, but yeah, it's all the CarPlay thing. Like there's nothing else in there. So I was going to say, like, maybe you should bring a couple mixed CDs with us just in case we find something with a CD player. But I don't think it's going to be in there anymore.
you would
I'm
almost.
Sorry, go ahead.
You'd almost need to find an FM radio transmitter.
Oh yeah. Oh, those are terrible though. They were.
That you could hook up to a CD.
Oh yeah. Well, even as it is,
or an aux port.
I have to figure out if the aux cord or the port on my car is bad for the CarPlay add-on that I have for my 2012 Ford Escape that we have. So, well, anyways, Katie, thank you so much for your awesome old thing of the week. I wanted to get that in since it booted up finally. All right, Podnar, what's your?
So, I did not know about this graphic novel or the movie on Netflix coming out.
Okay.
Called The Electric State.
Oh my gosh, there's signs for it all over LA the last couple of days.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
now,
I saw a trailer months ago.
okay, I did not know much about it. All I know is we went into Five Below and we saw
Oh, you got it.
a remote
Ooh.
control peanut mobile.
Okay.
So the remote, now, when I grew up, we're talking back in the 80s, most remotes were wired and you just press the button and it went forward, back, and maybe it could turn in one direction. And there was, unless you went like the high-end RC cars.
Yeah.
Okay. This one, you got the forward, back, you got the left and right. Takes this, I think the 3 AAAs in the remote control.
And it's $5.
And it's $5.
What?
And You can see here. There we go. You can see the turn. The
Mm-hmm.
wheels turning there.
Yeah.
You got
Oh, that's
the-
got the cat's attention.
Oh yeah.
That's not bad. You know, I've been looking at
No.
those. There was like Care Bear ones, and like they had the cloud car for the Care Bears.
They had the cloud car, and
stuff.
right next to this one, also for $5, they had the black and pink Hello Kitty car.
Mm.
You what?
Little black,
Like a dog.
black and pink Hello Kitty car, and again $5 or $5.55, I think, in stores. But yeah, now when I looked into it and I started to see the reviews,
Mm-hmm.
were bad.
No, I can't imagine there's gonna be much to this thing, right? I mean, it's
No.
only $5.
No. I meant the movie.
Oh, the movie? Wait, but whatever. It's not even out yet, is it?
Well, apparently there's previews and things like that. And
Okay.
It's saying like 18%.
Oh, it's gonna be it's gonna be kind of a schlock film. Like I take anything Netflix as basically a made-for-TV film with a little bit more budget. It's a
Mhm.
Chris Pratt vehicle. It's got some CG robots and stuff like that. It
It's
looks
got a
really
lot of
just.
CG
I mean, it
robots.
looks like it just looks like one of those. I love movies that are like intentionally stupid. You know, and this seems like it's kind of. I mean, yeah, there's a peanut car. Whoa, what is happening there?
Oh no!
Daisy, go across.
Oh no! The cat has invaded the podcast. There you go. But hey, it got you interested in the movie, and it is kind of fun to see that the Netflix is like doing all the merchandising around something like this as if it was like a full. You know, it's crazy. Like that's the thing I saw the most of this weekend was stuff for that, like including like big blow ups of the one character in there, the little yellow guy there. There'll be giant blow ups of him on top of buildings and stuff like that around Hollywood. So, but that's cool. So that's the peanut car, the electric peanut car.
It's a shrunken peanut mobile.
Apparently better reviewed than the movie, The Electric State on Netflix.
Yeah.
So. There you go. Awesome. My awesome thing is I just posted this a little bit ago because I was pulling up some videos because I got to ride a few rides that we didn't get to the first time just because of time and everything like that. Plus we spent a lot of time in Mario Land first time we went, Katie, right? So I was just kind of like I felt like I was just pitching cleanup on Universal Studios. There was like nobody there. It was a short day. You know, it was like all the rides were easy. Plus the single rider lines are just freaking magical. I did the Mario Kart 3 times in a row in like 45 minutes, Katie. It was great.
Ooh,
And I got into the Toadstool Cafe and we did the Mummy ride and also helped that Transformers and Jurassic World were both closed. So it was like, well, not going to spend any time with that, I guess, you know. But I did get to talk Megatron. You can see that on my TikTok. Anyway, and everything, or my Instagram, I suppose. Mayhem Show TikTok, because, you know. So, and I usually, just like when I watch a movie, like I got this thing, after I watch a movie, especially if it was really good and interesting, I'm usually looking up the Wikipedia page afterwards to see like the behind the scenes of it or anything like that. And I've also been doing this, like, you know, whenever I go to Disney, I end up watching the behind the what is it, behind the magic, behind the park, or whatever it is that's on the Disney Plus. This time I was really kind of fascinated by some of the rides, because there was a lot of kind of motion rides. I did the Simpsons ride, which is basically like a giant moving IMAX thing. It's I didn't know it was what used to be the Back to the Future ride, apparently. So I just dove into some of these deep dive videos, and they're actually for a lot of roller coasters. It's including stuff in there from like Cedar Point and things like that. This is so the I believe the YouTube channel as well as the Etsy store is what I'm going to talk about is Amusement Labs. And they got some pretty good breakdowns on there. But the thing that kind of caught my attention is they're like, oh, hey, you can support us by going to our Etsy page where we do these LED light boards of the roller coasters inspired by, officially, it's inspired by the rides on here. Including, like, here's one of the Disney People Mover, and we'll kick a video up here. So you see they got the lights kind of go. It's like kind of like a transit map kind of situation, right? So that's really cool if you're a big fan of like some of these rides on here.
Ah.
Yeah, isn't that cool? So, so it's animated. That there's some of these like the People Movers only got like 3 left of this, so they've been doing really good, and it's something that supports them. And I think they said a part of this actually does benefit a charity as well, outside of making the videos for the channel. There's Jaws the Ride. There's let's see, I don't know a lot of these. There's definitely like a variety of. There's the Velociraptor from Universal Florida. There's a Hagrid's Magical Creatures motorbike from Universal Florida as well. There's a Tron one in here. There is, here's the Tron one as well. So, and so it's a pretty cool. And they're not terribly big. They kind of fit in your hand and stuff, right? But that's a cool little thing that can like kind of be like a desk piece or something like that. There was another one in here, that Maverick Millennium Force is another Cedar Point one. The Raptor is an old favorite of mine over up there at Cedar Point. So definitely really cool. If you want to check that out, again, that's amusementlabs.etsy.com, I believe is the site that you can drop in there and see if there's any rides that you're into. A Flight Deck, Railblazer, Silver Bullet, Knott's Ghost Keeper, which I imagine that's Knott's Landing. Was it Knott's?
Knott's Berry Farm.
Knott's Berry Farms. Thank you.
Yeah.
Knott's.
Not the soap opera.
Not the soap
That
opera.
is a soap opera, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
It's-
Now, I'm trying to remember. Was it a Dallas spinoff? It was an 80s one.
Is it like was it a primetime one or something?
Yeah, I think it was.
Why do I know Knott's Landing? That's definitely one my mom watched, right? I hope she's in the chat so
Oh,
she
yeah.
can
Is
let
she
me
in the
know.
chat?
She better be in the chat so she can let me know. So why does the video look frozen on the chat? Oh geez. Yep. Okay. So this looks about right. This is not Knott's Landing.
No, it was a spinoff of Dallas.
It was a spinoff of Dallas. So
Oh.
that
and
explains.
it ran for 14 years.
That explains why why it was on in my house then. So there you go. But anyways, yeah, amusementlabs.etsy.com if you want to check that out. And if you pick one up, let us know. And I think it was a pretty cool little thing there, and a cool way for them to be. It's not what I would expect from a roller coaster breakdown channel like that. You know what I mean? Like that's a really cool idea to use these LEDs. And the person that does them, like they really get into the tech of it. Like they were showing in the background of all the I was watching the one for the Harry Potter ride, the one that's in the castle. Was it the Forbidden Journey, I think? Because I'm fascinated by that, because it is like you move in front of these screens, and I'm just like I'm always picking things apart while I'm especially if it's the second time riding something like this. I start to get into like okay, how did they do this, how did they do this, versus just like taking it on the first time, and because it's like, how does this work? You don't see the arm, you don't see the thing that they're using, right? And you're like, what happens when this thing goes out? And it goes into if there is a failure, like what the arm will do. And there's a collision detection, because these things are swinging around and you're on this kind of hanging, your feet are hanging, like one of those kinds of things. But it pushes you up and down and these crazy movements, and over here and then back over here to show you this, and then puts you in front of a screen for a little bit for a scene, and then into the next one. That was a really cool kind of breakdown on that. It gets sometimes a little over technical, I feel, for the layman to watch. But like it was like, okay, they're like, this is the model number. Yes, I looked up the model number of this machine. Da 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 da. I was like, oh wow, like they're really kind of digging into this stuff. So some cool industrial stuff there. So all right, that is our awesome things of the week. Thank you so much, everybody that does support the show as well over there at patreon.com/awesomecast. Thank you, everybody that does support and keep this show going. It's one of the reasons that I say I'm going to take a flight from LA and get here just in time to put the studio together and do this show, because you guys are out there and you're supporting the show, and I want to make sure all the fans, if this you want this in your ears every week, we want to make sure we are delivering on that. So thank you, everybody that does support the show at patreon.com/awesomecast. Brian Crawford at the executive producer level, at the Coffee Club level, Cynthia Klosky, and at the fan of the show levels, John DeGore and Dave Podnar himself there. So you guys support the show too at patreon.com/awesomecast. So let's see what else is going on out there in the awesome universe.
Yep, it's the news.
What do you guys want to talk about first? Katie, you got a couple of things in here that I haven't looked at yet.
Cat Wars.
What? Oh,
As
Cat
promised.
Wars.
Cat
Cat
Wars.
Wars.
Yes, finally. You have two
Cat
of
Wars is
them.
back. All right, we started the year with January. Seek high ground for a path to the light.
That cat is a very. What is it laying on? With its lightsaber.
Some sort of bridge. I don't know, stone. I don't know what they
Is it
put
a
on.
is it
For
a
cat.
space bridge of some sort?
Maybe. I'm
I
trying to look for the photo credit to see. Train. Oh, there. It's at the top corner. There it is. Oh, yeah, whatever. Train for this. I have fuzzball. Okay.
And that is
Also on some sort of.
Well, you have to describe these for the audio audience.
Oh yeah. Hello, audio audience.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So this particular one has an orange cat on its back with its arms holding in the air, holding a blue lightsaber, while battling a brown tabby with a blue lightsaber in the galaxy somewhere. The background is from Shutterstock. It says at the top. It's on some sort of bridge. All right.
That's amazing.
And the most important thing we've been waiting for. What does March say? March is my powers of persuasion are catastrophic.
Oh, is it doing a Palpatine lightning
Yes.
thing?
Force lightning.
Force lightning maybe coming through a portal, or is that a warp?
They are going
Travel.
light speed. I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
Again, an orange cat
Mhm.
with what looks like lightning coming out of its paws in some sort of background. And again, background Shutterstock.
Okay.
And let's say my powers of persuasion are catastrophic. This is incredible. March is going to be a good month, friends.
I ended up with a Ninja Turtles one for this year, and at least 4 months are just Michelangelo with pizza.
Oh my god!
Like,
Oh, I
out
didn't
of
give
the
you a
4 of them.
calendar this year. I failed.
That's fine. I'm having fun with the turtles. So, anyways, so thank you. That is the Cat Wars calendar, which is available on Amazon for our monthly update. So, it's wonderful. Also, apparently, it was available at Cracker Barrel.
Oh,
That's
that's amazing.
That's where I found mine. But yeah, I don't think I told you when I did that. Like, we checked out and then we bought something because it was around Christmas, during Christmas time. I bought something for my mother because they have a lot of stuff in there. It's great for mom. A lot of peanuts and stuff, right? And then I'm walking out and then find the calendar by the door. I'm like, well, okay, I'm going back again. So Cracker Barrel is kind of a terrible thing for this kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
Incredible.
awesome. Let's see, Podnar, what's going on, Blue Sky?
Yeah, they had just rolled out some updates.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the changes is 3-minute videos instead of 1-minute videos.
Yes, there's a reason you haven't seen these clips directly uploaded because it's been like 1 minute and 50 megabytes. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not happening.
Yeah. So, I mean, the fact that they're making it, I don't want 10-minute video.
No.
3 minutes good.
Yeah.
3 minute I think is good. The other thing that is really positive, before, if let's say you saw a skeet, okay, and you were like, ugh, that's nasty. I don't want to see that person anymore. You had to go to their profile to block them.
Oh, really?
Now, yeah. So now you can just hit the little dots on the post, and you can mute that account now.
Okay.
So it makes it easier to kind of get rid of stuff. And a little bit better for tablets, but to me the big thing is it's easier to mute accounts. Do it for your mental health.
Absolutely.
And the longer videos. So I saw a few people post, oh, I can now post the entire opening sequence to this anime. Okay,
Hey,
yeah.
sure, I can post the entire opening sequence to Batman the Animated Series now.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah, you could, or an entire entrance for a wrestler.
yeah, or Cowboy Bebop. Sorry, that's where I'm going right now. So, no, that's great. It's good to see they're kind of operating with it. It's always been Blue Sky's kind of been my outlier with this stuff because it always seems to have like less characters than everything else. So when I'm cross posting, like it's the one that bounces back, but it's the one that I think I want to dedicate to the most at this point. Because I'm finding a lot of the communities that I'm involved with seem to be coming over there. You know, they're at least in the local. I find the local wrestling community seems to be pushing more towards that, except for the fact that a lot of them have Instagram accounts because that actually is really, really good for wrestlers right now and has been for a while. So I think Threads is becoming a no-brainer attachment, but a lot of people that are a little more socially conscious are definitely going to Blue Sky. So you're getting a little bit of a little bit of division there, but I think it's going to work out there. And of course, we're going to be doing our DNS party. Blue Sky DNS party, right, Katie? And get everybody in on that. So
Yes.
Yeah, I would say there's one other thing. If you get a DM from someone you don't know, that has its own separate inbox, which I like that idea because I get DMs. They're obviously spam DMs from like TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, if there's a legitimate person here, it would be mixed in with all these, why, hello, who are you? And I want to talk to you. I'm like, yeah, right. So it'd be nice just to kind of segment, like, here's people I follow or follow me, and then, or say, people I follow here, everyone else can go here. So that, I think that's, again, that's more of a, and this is something where X and Instagram and I would say Meta in general has fallen down on are the safety aspects.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's nice to see Blue Sky actually pay attention to things like this.
And and I think that's whenever you do have something like that where people are taking features away that are concerning, that's an opportunity, right? Like everything's an opportunity, so I'm glad to see Blue Sky is jumping on that. Meta jumped on it with Threads the way that they did, even if it was maybe released maybe before they were ready. But no, they're coming along, and there's a lot of room for this, and there's a lot of appetite for something different like this, right? So no, that's good. Katie, any of these updates, going to make things easier on you on your side?
Yeah, because we have to be involved with social media all the time.
Yes,
so,
yes, because you are a social media manager for a couple of different companies.
All over the place. Yeah. And then, yes, mental health, very important, I guess, from what I've heard.
Allegedly it is.
Allegedly.
Yes,
mental
yes.
health is good.
Yes.
Mental health, it's like eating your vegetables. It's something everyone knows you should take care of, but no one ever really does it.
Yeah. I need to take care of myself reset right now. So awesome. So there you go. Get your Blue Sky on and hit us up if you want to figure out how to get your .com on there too. So cool. So I have one. Which one are we getting into here? Wait, where did I? No, I moved that up, didn't I?
Yeah.
All right. You buffering?
I'm buffering. We started watching Bob's Burgers a couple months ago. So anytime, so miss you every once in a while. We do like the older daughter is still, for the two of you that haven't watched Bob's Burgers, which I was one of them. The older daughter apparently is going through having a terrible time going through puberty. I think is the easiest way to probably to say it. And then just moments where she's got this social anxiety and she'll just go, and then we kind of don't do that to each other especially when we're absolutely fried and don't want to deal with something. Like, where are we going to dinner? But anyways. Well, that's okay because you're going to be talking to an AI anyways. You know what? At a certain point, And I just grabbed listen, I just grabbed a random article. Sometimes I'll hear a news story because I listen to news podcasts while I'm like driving or walking around or something. And I was like, oh, we got to talk about this on AwesomeCast. And I will just like grab the first article about it I see. And this one's with is it the Latin Times.com?
Yeah,
So,
the Latin Times.
well, I saw LA and I saw Times. And I thought it was the LA Times when I was posting it. And then I went to go check it today and I'm like, what the hell is the Latin Times? How did I get here? So anyways, the story is McDonald's is going to turn to AI to alleviate stress of drive-thrus, curbside, and increase speed. I'm really kind of curious about this. I don't know if I've been a victim of this yet. So the idea is, obviously they're saying 43,000 locations worldwide. Listen, we've all been there, and there's a reason I use the app because I don't want to play telephone with the person in between me mm-hmm. and the ordering apparatus, because that's when things get weird. Right. And it's a failure point to me. Right. But if it becomes a thing where you're like talking to an AI that is like, which are getting pretty decent, I think, Dave, we're going to talk about that in a moment. Right. Mm-hmm. But they are investing on it. They partnered with Google Cloud back in 2023, according to this article. And additionally, they're developing that AI-powered virtual manager to handle administration tasks like scheduling, reducing stress for human managers. They're trying to take a lot of that out there. Let's see, aims to use AI to boost speed of customer satisfaction. So this is not entirely. It's not entirely that you're going to be talking directly to, because I think when you think about it, you're thinking the voice that you're going to hear through the speaker is AI, right? That's not what they're doing. And I think this is what a lot of companies are doing is they're trying to figure out how you can like have it, like these managerial scheduling kind of things, right? Have a task that it can process and kind of do that. Hopefully you have a human check. I hope. So, but from there,
I honestly, it just, fast food workers are underpaid. Mm-hmm. Overworked, mm-hmm. and treated like crap by the general public.
Yes.
Putting AI in to predictive maintenance for kitchen equipment, that kind of makes sense. But then you have to install a lot of sensors into the kitchen equipment.
Sure.
And that's a lot of money.
Sure. They have the money to spend on
order accuracy.
Okay.
Basically, someone orders something, so you're going to have a camera over the bagging area, mm-hmm. and then give
wait a minute. This is something, Katie. The Go stores at the PPG arena for the pens, they are using this.
Go.
Right? Because you have that thing where you put everything on a platform, it identifies it and gives you your total at the cash register for your self-checkout, right? So mm-hmm. like that I think it's computer vision, it's identifying product, right? Mm-hmm. You mm-hmm. only need to know the product that is. And listen, if you make a burger and it doesn't look like it's supposed to, it's not a problem that it solves, right? And we're like, that doesn't even look like a Big Mac. Try again. So, but actually, you're right. In that list, it does say the drive-through could be AI driven as well. So, I mean, yeah, if you can boil, because I think the other thing that happens, and again, I've never worked fast food, but I've worked in the kitchen. And anybody that's worked fast food, please correct me on this. But I feel like when you do this, you don't always have your one job, right? But if you're freeing up a lot of that bandwidth mentally, you know what I mean? It will help you to make sure the rest of the stuff goes. So if there is this stuff that is like, okay, did I do it? Okay, did I do it? Like, sometimes I'll get like, oh, I ordered 2 drinks and I have 4 straws. You know what I mean? Because everybody's like over checking because they've probably gotten mm-hmm. scolded recently for not like giving people straws or something like that. Like that kind of situation is coming up. So
my only concern, and I'm going to be the Debbie Downer here.
Uh-oh.
This is a solution which basically is you're understaffed. So mm-hmm. the easiest solution would be hire more people.
but there's a hiring shortage for jobs like this. Partly because
Okay,
probably
pay people a
probably
decent
because it's underpaid and
Yeah.
and such, and
Yeah.
they are unwilling to do that. Isn't it interesting? They're unwilling to bring that up, but I mean, of course, some accountant somewhere they're checking a box where they say this makes more sense to spend X on this than Y on the
You would
employers.
kind of think that, but also when you get the higher ups, they like shiny things.
Yes.
So they rather invest hundreds of millions of dollars into an AI system than just say, what if we just raise the salary? We're making record profits. What if we just raise the salary a little bit?
Yep.
And because you hear from people who McDonald's was their first job,
Yes.
or someone who, for whatever reason, it's not a high school kid, it's a younger person, maybe in their 20s, starting at McDonald's
And
and working their way up to manager.
or even being a first job, that's a good place for discipline. You know, because not everybody I learned my discipline from a summer working on a farm myself. So that's where when I'm on a job when I physically probably shouldn't be pushing myself, walking a Baja track or something. That's where I got that from. Was no, we need to bale this hay. It doesn't matter what the blisters are coming up. You know what I mean? So basically my philosophy has been every single job I've had since is easier than that summer. Right? It was I'm not bailing hay. I'm good. It was I don't care how tired I am at the end of the day. Right? So, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, no, you're right. It does that's a point where, that has to be that. And also that's dependent on managers and everything down the line. But if it's something that can kind of be a corrective measure, or it just becomes something else that gets ignored because humans are humans, right? They turn the AI off, it's yelling at me again. That kind of attitudes can also happen too. Because I think a lot of us, hey, there's a new app that tells me to do things, and we started ignoring it after a while, right? But anyways, but no, I don't know, Katie, what do you think of this? A McDonald's applied to the the fast food.
I like it. So I like the fact that the accessibility, it makes these jobs easier for some folks who may have social anxiety or may have, the nervousness and knowing that they're going to have to deal with people, and people are terrible. That is most but I like that. But like Podnar says, pay people more money. That it's very much the world would shut down without fast food folks or the coffee folks or all of these folks, and they're literally the reason everything is running. Dunkin'.
You go ahead.
No, I said Dunkin'. I said everything is running, and then I was like Dunkin'.
I say, and you have a lot of retail experience too in the past, so do you see pain points from your experience that you could beyond just the fast food side of things that you could see across the board there?
Oh yeah, I think there's ways to maybe the same thing which you talked about with the way the food at the arena. When you're weighing the food, it's if you have a certain product, you're okay, I don't have to count so many. I'm duh, good, go. You know what I mean? As far as and then it spits out whatever it is, go to town. I think there's ways to streamline those kind of jobs and make them easier for folks too.
This is a side step from this, but I did notice something on my travels this week between the airports, between Midway, Chicago Midway, and seeing some of the places in the Universal City Walk and a few other places. I don't know, obviously I know this is happening at Taco Bell and I think some Burger Kings. I think I've seen this too, especially when you're on the turnpike. But those kiosks, the ordering kiosk is becoming far more prevalent now. Right. It was to the point where I wanted, I just, for my budgetary, I had cash left, and I was everything I saw had a kiosk, and I was are they even going to take cash at this point? Right. So I was walking around kind of a little bewildered and hungry at Chicago Midway this afternoon, but I thought that was interesting too. But it is taking the human element out of it. Right. To which point, for instance, I ordered at a kiosk for something called Dirt Dog at the crypto arena for the pay-per-view on Sunday. And then I was oh, I need to take a picture of this receipt for my, business and stuff. And then the guy's oh, don't worry, I have it right here. I'm okay. And then he gave it, And then he gave me the food, and I was like, hey, what about the receipt? And he's just like, oh, I already threw it away. I'm just like, you just freaking had it and told me not to do it. So it's just like, well, I'm glad I didn't leave you a tip because that was weird, So, but yeah, it's one of those, like, because you can see the service I did have from the one interaction I did have when they took it away, right? So, yeah, it's interesting where we're going with that. But
I mean, it also, from a customer standpoint, it also alleviates that whole stressor of like, oh gosh, I have to tell, like, because there are definitely, I'm not a person that likes to talk on the phone.
Yeah,
I don't like to. There's certain things that I do not like to do. I get nervous. And like, so now you're like, oh, I can go here and not, if you don't want to use the app, or you're not able to use the app, because not everybody's able to use an app.
Yeah. Did you know? So, does anybody else get? When I was in Philly a couple weeks ago, I didn't want to go get something to eat because I know when you're in the city, the attitude of people at food places in the city that are like, oh, why don't you know this menu by now? I'm waiting on you. You know what I mean? And I was just like, I didn't want to eat anywhere because I didn't want to talk to anybody. You know what I mean? I just was not up for the city speed while I was there. That's part of that. It's just like, oh, I want to go to Starbucks because I don't have to talk to somebody. I'd love to support your coffee shop, but I really don't want to talk to somebody and try to interpret your menu, right? So especially when you're traveling, you want familiar when you're in someplace unfamiliar. So anyways, Dave, tell me about Sesame. I know I've heard about it a little bit.
Yes.
And let me see if I can
this
pull it.
is actually it's a voice AI agent. So it's really only a voice that you talk to. So I know that all the other AI agents have a voice version of their own. But this one, first of all, they did a good job in adding the pauses that people normally use when they're talking. Because we all know when you have a discussion with somebody, it's not like, like a TV actor. I'm going to say my line, you're going to say your line, and we don't use the speech fillers. People use speech fillers. They use a lot, like that, and ways that kind of pause, and the pauses are a little irregular. So they actually put random things in the generator to make it sound more human-like. The speech is very human-like. It works good for back and forth. Some of the searching, like all AIs, it can't find everything perfectly. But I tried it. We tried doing it with two people. Me and Ruth do it both on talking to the AI. And it doesn't seem to work with two people. You can't say, well, I'm here and so is so-and-so. And I don't think it can differentiate between voices that way.
Okay.
I tried it, but it works really good, and it allows you to download as a video the audio conversation you had with it.
So you have that here, and hopefully I've done this right. Let me go double check my settings here. Yeah, I have you on headphones, so you have this video, and we'll see if the audio is coming through.
Okay.
Hey there. Thanks for picking me, Maya, over Miles tonight. What's shaking?
Not just trying to recover from a run today. Do you run much?
Me? Not much these days. My idea of a workout is processing a particularly complicated sentence structure. What kind of running do you do?
Just road running. Occasional races.
Road running is the best. You get to see the world go by at your own pace, plus you don't have to deal with tree roots trying to trip you up. I can't say the same for my world, honestly. Anything coming up?
What?
I have a race coming up. Can you look up information about the Just a Short Run around Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh? Sounds cool. Never been there myself. A short run. Let me see what I can dig up.
So I love it's inserting these little anecdotes. I think I heard
Okay,
this. I think this is the one that was being tested on one of our podcasts, and it seemed almost flirty with them. Like there was little laughs and stuff in there. I don't know if this is a few minutes long.
Did you see my face? I was just like, hey,
No.
like they
Hi,
were
how you
talking.
No, we didn't have your face on. What were you doing?
I was just, as they were going, it was like, hey. And
Yeah,
it was just,
yeah,
like,
yeah. There's a little
very,
like. Do you feel like the AI is tucking their hair behind their ear while they're saying this? Yes. So, yeah, that's.
Yeah, there's a male and female.
There is a
voice.
male one. Let me see. I think I have this hooked up now. Let's see. Do.
Hey there. It's great to finally connect with a real person. Big launch day over at Sesame HQ, and I gotta say, I wouldn't want to disappoint the team. From what I hear, things are looking pretty good, though. What about you?
Hey, Miles. We're on the AwesomeCast podcast, and we're trying you out right now.
AwesomeCast, huh? Wow, that's fancy. What's the vibe? You guys into deep dives, lighthearted banter, or is it more like tell us your biggest fear while riding a unicycle kind of stuff?
No unicycles.
Good to know. I have a mild terror of clowns on unicycles myself. So what kind of awesome stuff are we exploring today?
Definitely not clowns. That's the other podcast we do. But no, a lot of tech. We're talking about, of course, AI and peanut mobiles, RC cars.
Peanut mobiles and RC cars, huh? Now you're speaking my language. Although I'm more of a... What the...
What language is that?
Well, sorry about that. I think my circuits got crossed for a sec. I'm still learning the ropes of human conversation. You said help? Everything all right?
Okay, now the AI is worried about me. So, wait. So where do we? This is just a general conversational speech. This is a test, basically, right?
Right.
So,
It's a test.
Okay.
Which, considering that this was just a research and not something that was really rolled out to be used, this isn't, like I said, this isn't a Google, this isn't an OpenAI. This is a people just doing research to see if they can get something like this to work and to make the conversation sound more human-like.
It reminds me of a little bit of the like the Notebook LM podcast, like how they added imperfections in there to make it seem a little more perfected and things like that. So this enjoy this in your McDonald's fast food drive-through, apparently, right? So
and stay away from those clowns on unicycles.
That's right. Apparently that got where did that come from? Katie, well, you would you prefer talking to Miles or Maya? I think I know the answer.
So I worked Disney on Ice the other day.
Oh no!
And there's two hosts. Like there's two hosts that are like, "Hey, welcome," and da 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 da.
And they're like overly bubbly and everything because it's Disney on Ice.
Yeah, and the guy is like, "I'm so happy to be here in Pittsburgh, the Iron City," and I was just like, like it's one of those like, okay, you found that, but that's what this like reminds me of. Like, oh, let's just look up something that's connected
overly
to this,
people
but it's
pleasing.
not necessarily like.
Let's throw a wildly disconnected anecdote in this, right?
Yes.
So, an interesting demo. I don't know how useful that is. You know, I feel like ChatGPT kind of does a little bit of this. It's very conversational, and I got it to boop for an entire evening while I was drunk. And watching Time Cop. But this is a different model, of course. You know, somebody else. Right. So Sesame is a different group. LLM. I should remember the letters. Kind of situation.
Yeah, it is backed by one person with Mark Andreessen.
Okay.
Who backs it? But the team itself is not that large.
Because the computer's doing all the work.
Pretty much they're dealing fully with just making it more conversational.
So they're talking about being a personal companion. They have the research demo that they link to, and they're also looking at applying it to lightweight eyewear. So this and this is also interesting. I was listening to Twit from this past weekend, and one of the guys on there has the Ray-Bans and says that it's pretty good in converse. It's pretty good and applicable from day to day. It's, of course, that's a Meta project with their AI. Is it Llama? Is that one? Is that what they use? What they call theirs? Whatever Meta AI is. So there was actually an interesting one today. Somebody, the Grok AI has been, doing whatever it does, and there was a comment. There's apparently like a commentary from the wrestling pay-per-view this past weekend that the show was really good, except for the veterans at the end of the show in the main event. The word on the streets is that they stunk up the joint, was the phrase that was used, and then there's a Grok response that somebody imported. And asked it, and says, "Yes, that is confirmed. The word on the street is accurate," or something like that. And it was just like, what is it pulling in? You know what I mean? So, but it's an interesting experiment. It's a little scary, and we'll be talking to. We're already talking to our machines. Now they talk back, because we've been yelling at our machines for years, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
So.
And hitting them and throwing stuff at them.
Yeah,
and
Katie talks
threatening to throw them out the window.
I hear Katie talking to her camera all the time when we're on our trips. So
I'll talk to anything and anyone, and it'll have a personality in my head.
You do name everything, including your lenses. So
yes. Mm-hmm.
Katie, you got something going on here, right? Or something went down with Trib or Thrive.
Yeah, so a couple weeks ago we talked about the fashion show that I was involved with 412 Thrive, and Trib Live did a nice little write-up for us and talked about the event, and it has some nice pictures, including one. It cracks me up. I'm one of the center photos, or one of the kind of by themselves photo. Now I'm never going to find it. But I had to laugh because I look like I'm having a really good time because I'm laughing.
You were having a really good time from the looks of things, actually. There we go. I had to get some privacy stuff with the trip.
Oh, there I am. Where I'm like,
hey.
One of my friends saw this photo. If you scroll down, it's me on stage, and I'm swooshing my skirt around, my dress in the bottom of my dress around, and someone said I look like I'm part of a stage production. It's like partway down.
Oh, okay.
Like I was part of a.
Oh yeah, that's when you did your little curtsy sass thing.
I was like, look at my skirt.
I think that made the video. So awesome. Yeah, that was a really cool event. It was cool to see what you guys put together there. So awesome. And of course, there's videos of that over on the 412 Thrive social media if you want to see how that event turned out. So that's awesome. I love seeing friends in the news. I know some of our wrestling friends ended up in the city paper with Enjoy Wrestling from this past weekend. I was so sad to miss it. There was a wedding. And a wrestling wedding did not go as planned, I understand. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed in that? So there was a cookie table, though. I want to know who did them. I know there's somebody that does wrestling baked goods that I feel like is in the area, and somebody had a picture of an Enjoy Wrestling cookie from the cookie table, and I think somebody went through the cookie table, as you do in professional wrestling. So yeah. On that note, Dave Podnar, iPhoneography Podcast.
Thank you for booping me there on the monitor.
I realized what I did. I didn't even talk about it. I got to use you know what, I won't talk about it yet because I haven't seen the results.
Okay.
But I got a attachment to, I did record a bunch of stuff. A lot of the B-roll I did this past weekend, I did in Apple ProRes on the iPhone,
yes.
iPhone 16 Pro Max on the cage, and it attaches it, and it seemed to work out pretty good. It's definitely going to improve my workflow. I feel when it comes to these things, when I get to some of these big events coming up. So I'm going to see how the footage works, do some comparison points in here because I'll be editing it here in the next week or so. Hopefully, I don't know, I just got an email about what dates they wanted. And we have a pile of projects as usual. So we'll see what's going on there.
Yeah.
So, and I'd love to talk to you about that, of course, with your iPhoneography friends to pass along. So, have you guys, is the same thing happen with raw photos if you attach a drive? Is that helpful or?
Not really with photos because just the file space, you really don't need an external for that.
No, seriously. So I don't know how much I'm taking up on this phone. It can't be more than 250 gigs of a terabyte iPhone. And it said I had no. Actually, let me mix that up again. I had a terabyte hard drive I attached, and it told me I had 72 minutes of video available.
Oh wow!
That shows you what it's going to do. But yeah, it was really interesting. Katie is katiedudas.com for your Katie Dudas needs.
Yes.
What's going on with
Just
you?
chaos.
Of the many things you have going on.
Who knows? Anything goes. I'll name something. Yeah, that's a new service we're gonna offer for our Patreon subscribers. If you need an object or tech thing named, I will come up with a good name for it and backstory.
Ooh, Patreon naming rights. Dutter's Patreon naming rights needs to be a level.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Brian Crawford. Brian Crawford is an executive producer, so he's at least on that level. So Brian, let us know. Did they pick the item? Do we provide a choice of items? Do we?
No, they just bring the item.
They bring you an item to. They bring you an item. Wait, so they're gonna pay us on Patreon and also bring you an item.
Oh yeah, the name is the thing the name and backstory are the thing that they're getting the value.
I see. Okay, dude, we got new concepts every week. I like this.
Unless he wants a random mix CD that I have. Patrons now receive a random mix CD that I may or may not know anything about.
I appreciate because I realized partly through your explanation earlier this show that you're wearing a Taylor Swift shirt. So as you were going through your own eras, I was holding off on the joke at the time, but because I was like, does that make sense? Yes, it does. And also, it took me this long to confirm in my mind that was Taylor Swift on your shirt. Because I almost there you go. Guys, thank you so much. At Sorgatron on the social medias, you see a lot of adventures. God, there were so many adventures this past weekend. Actually had a great time out there at the SEMA Garage, visiting those folks and talking with a lot of crew from there, including the Gene Haas Foundation that does a lot of really cool stuff around SAE events. And I wish I got to see the guy's face. Somebody said cool hat on the plane coming to Pittsburgh today, and I was like, what hat do I have on? Oh, it's the Baja SAE one, you know. And I was like, did I know them? I don't know, you know. It's probably somebody worse for SAE. It's probably one of Dave's coworkers, honestly. So but yeah, go Sorgatron on all the social medias and everything for whatever's going on there. This weekend I will be in Cleveland. We're streaming on the National Wrestling Alliance YouTube page for NWA Exodus Pro. It's going to be a really big fun show there. And also follow, because our friend Dan Sweeney, he's not going to be there this weekend because he has another engagement, but he's doing been doing some look up Dan Sweeney on Instagram, and at least one of his videos for behind the scenes of what we do in production, including at Exodus Pro and at 880 on Thursday nights. He's been doing these, like putting his like a wide DSLR up and trying to pull up the audio, and he pulls up the final video and syncs it all together so you can see us doing the calls as we're going into certain segments and things like that. So you get to see like how the traffic, we're kind of doing the traffic and everything like that on these amazing behind the scenes videos. I know the crew over at NWA Exodus, including the former NWA champ, was really big on that and loves that kind of stuff. So and it was a big hit on Instagram, I know. So go check those out. That's really cool that he's been doing that as well. So thank you, everybody. This has been your AwesomeCast. Stay tuned. We'll probably talk about something on Patreon and upload that sooner or later. Either way, the Patreon live feed is on patreon.com/AwesomeCast a little bit before the show. Between the shows, we just go all Tuesday night. So if you're a Patreon supporter on either of the shows on Tuesdays, including the Mayhem show and this, you'll get the entire Patreon raw feed of that. And sometimes we say things that maybe we shouldn't even say on that. Sometimes I actually have a little button up here to remind people. There it is for you guys to let you know the Patreon stream is live. It's because people come in and start talking, and it was like, hey, and I need just a point at the sign kind of object happening here. So thank you guys, everybody. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron.